run time since we moved the time back, so I'm a little bit limited. So I just want to be sure I can participate. I guess, let me go into it. Okay, so for tonight, group discussion, summarize how the model works using the trans-theoretical stages of change model infographic to guide your explanation.
Just real quick, I guess Katie is in a different link and nobody is there yet, so that's way weird. But
yeah,
well, maybe just started the one.
Yeah.
Okay. Does she see this one though?
I'm asking her.
Yeah, because she hadn't started it when we started this one. So.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, we can keep going.
Okay. Do you guys
so
have that
just
pulled up?
Summarize the trans-theoretical stages of change model. Let's just call it TTM.
Okay.
And because that's a long, hard word.
Yes.
And that's your explanation. So do you guys have that pulled up then?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The picture thing.
Yeah.
With the pre-contemplation, contemplation, preparation, action, and maintenance. And I think there's another one in the reading called, what was it, temptation? But it's not in this model, or in this picture, so I don't know.
Okay.
So the first step is pre-contemplation, and so that's the step where the individual is not intended to take an action within half a year. And then it moves on to contemplation, where the participant intends to take action within half a year. Preparation, where the person has intentions to take actions within 30 days, and they're already taking the steps. Action is where the behavior has been changed for at least 6 months. Maintenance is the behavior has been changed for over 6 months. And then the temptation means that there's no relapse and the individual is 100% confident. So, let's see.
I don't know if we need to go over that anymore in detail.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how much more.
Pretty.
It seems pretty like
Yeah.
to the point. So, okay. So the next question: discuss the processes and how they relate. Which we did. Well, we didn't really discuss how they relate, but that's kind of the same thing, I think.
Yeah, same thing.
Give me just a second. Okay. What kind of intervention centered on the processes move people through the stages?
Oh, here's Katie.
You got any flavors water?
What kind of intervention?
So, like, are we talking like educational? Are we talking about educational interventions?
Hey guys.
Or like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to look. I pulled up this link and it has like this whole model. I'm gonna send it to you guys.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Sorry that it didn't work. Like I was sitting there and no one was joining and I didn't know what to do.
Oh, sorry.
If you guys got that link, this is kind of what I'm looking at. I just pulled up, and I think it kind of puts everything into detail. So it breaks down all the different stages, and then I feel like that second part under the diagram kind of goes into maybe more like intervention type stuff. It's talking about, well, kind of. But it's talking about like helping relationships, so finding supportive relationships to encourage the change, environmental reevaluation, so social reappraisal to realize how their unhealthy behavior affects others, So I think it's just them like sitting down, reevaluate their surroundings, reevaluate how it's affecting them, and then be able to intervene that way. But I think a
Okay,
lot of it is their own like mental processes of realizing this is what, you know what I mean? This is what I have to change, not somebody actually physically going in and taking them out of the circumstance.
Yeah, it's a lot of conscious learning and learning about how, you know, that behavior affects you, yourself, your environment, your social environment, your, you know, your present health, things like that.
Yeah, because in it keeps talking about reappraisal, self-reappraisal, social reappraisal. So it's like most of it is you having to look inward or, you know, around your environment and reevaluating everything. So
Right, right.
Down just a little bit. Down.
All right.
Maddie.
Okay, so what is next? Let's see.
it looks like it's the scenario discussion, which is, I think, what our assignment is. So as we talk about it, we might as well fill in our chart at the same time if we can.
Oh, yeah, is it the same exact ones?
Yeah, it looks like it's the
I haven't
exact.
looked at the chart yet. Is it just with like the scenarios in the overview or foundation or whatever?
Yeah, it has each of the stages, and then you have to do an intervention and then explain the intervention that you came up with.
So it's kind of
Okay.
like the last assignment from last week.
Yeah.
It looks almost identical to it, just a different model.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start scenario 1. You're a health educator on the BOUI campus working with a group of young men who are spending in excess of 16 to 20 hours per week playing violent video games. These young men are struggling academically at school.
Mom.
On initial interview with these young men, none of them feel they have a problem and are happy with the amount of time they are spend gaming. This sounds like people I know.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up. Is someone recording this video?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep,
Awesome.
I am. Okay, so let's see. So what are we doing? We're just choosing one. Oh, so you only choose one. So there's video games. So the scenario 2 is you're a health educator on BOUI campus. Your roommate or spouse is struggling with depressive symptoms but is not seeking help. How do you use the trans-theoretical stages of change model to help develop interventions centered on the processes to move him or her through the stages? Understand you need to do preliminary research on working with individuals with illness or mental health issues, sorry. Okay.
So which one do we want to do? Personally, I like scenario 1.
I do.
But
I do too. I think that's fun and interesting and different than.
Yeah.
I'm good with that too.
all right, let's do that one.
Okay. So, what are some ways we can apply that model?
So the first one is consciousness or conscious raising dramatic relief. Is that the first process?
It's the process of the change, but the stages are pre-contemplation
Contemplation.
Okay.
and
Yeah, that
contemplation.
link, if you go to that link that I sent, it has them all right there.
Okay.
So
How do I get back to that link?
was it on the side? I think I had it on the side.
Oh, I found it. Never
Right
mind.
on the right there. Let's see. So in this stage, people do not intend to take action in the foreseeable future within the next 6 months, and they're unaware that their behavior is problematic.
So you
Yeah, and
probably have to help them understand that their behavior is problematic.
Right.
Yeah, kind of show them the consequences of playing video games, like to your social life, and see
Probably
what
do
it's
your
doing to your
grades.
Yeah, that could be an example
Yeah.
of dramatic relief because
Yeah.
that's the emotional arousal, like maybe like a media, something that brings up a lot of emotions, like, wow, this really does affect those around me, such and such.
Yeah. Well, and it says that it's affecting their grades. So it might even be like a comparison, maybe like if they have like increased their amount of time like recently. So it might be like here before when you were like a freshman, you know, you weren't playing as many, you were super involved in school and everything going on, and you were making really good grades, and now you're taking away study time and all these things because you're playing video games, so obviously your grades aren't doing as well.
Right.
So
Since you're working with a group, you could get all their data of like where their grades were, let's say a couple years ago, and where they are now, and you could show a graph that's showing like going down.
yeah,
That could be something.
yeah.
Or you can also have them like fill out a survey of, like a self-reflection survey, like how often do you hang out with friends? When was the last time you went on a date? You know, and then maybe that would make them realize, like, oh my gosh, all I do is play video games.
Definitely work
That
in
might
the
be
social
more
aspects.
perspective and grades. Okay, so basically I think that just leads right into contemplation. So you basically have to give them something to think about. So then the next stage they can think about what, you know, what, let's see, it says they're intending to start healthy behavior. So it's how they're recognizing that their behavior might be problematic. Obviously, they're contemplating it. So then the next stage is preparation. This link has it as like parentheses and determination, and I actually really like that. So that's
I
where
feel
they
like at
actually
this
take
stage-
action in the next 30 days. Sorry, what?
I feel like at this stage, this is where they can start like making goals,
Mm-hmm.
and setting up schedules. Like, okay, I'm only gonna play, video games for an hour a day or whatever, or less, significantly less than what they've been doing. To kind of
Yeah, and I feel like anyone, once they decide to make a change, like that first, I don't know if it necessarily is 30 days, but that first little bit is so like impacting because they're so like anxious and ready to get started.
yeah,
So,
pretty vital to the whole
yeah.
model, I think.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess that would be I mean, that, like, what we were talking about, I think that would be, like, figuring out how they're going to take action. So, like, maybe thinking of things like what they're going to fill their time with instead, or making
Thinking
a
of different hobbies.
schedule, or, yeah, tutoring if they need to bring up their grades. So, but I think in this whole process, too, I think it's, like, I think there's a stark difference in saying, you don't need to play video games at all, and just being like, you need to find out a good limit that is healthy for you, that you can do, and if that's something that you're passionate about and you want to do that, great, but you need to find the happy in between so that
the
you can play
moderation.
that versus
Definitely.
yeah, my dad's in the background. He said, or use it for a reward system, which I think that's a good idea.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad. Parents always know best, right?
Yeah.
The next one is action. So obviously that they're going to put into action everything that they were preparing for, contemplating. So all these plans that they were making, they're putting that into effect. Let's see.
I like how this model, like, in order for it to be effective, you need to have an increasing self-efficacy throughout the model. So, they need to feel more and more confident throughout the model in order to be successful.
Yeah, and I think as like a health educator, I think that's where it's super important to understand your population, because if you're like, hey, like, you need to like really focus on like dating and whatever, and that's not something that they're interested in, or like they're super shy and they don't really, that makes them uncomfortable, then that obviously wouldn't be, that would be tackling a whole nother ball game while trying to tackle this problem. Versus if it's someone that's super concerned about like getting into grad school or something like that, then the bigger concern or the pull would be, hey, you need to worry about your grades, and you've got to have good grades to get into grad school. So, yeah. Anyway, I know. Let's see. So then action, obviously that's kind of self-explanatory. I feel like maintenance is, let's see, people sustain their behavior for a while, defined as more than 6 months, and intend to maintain the behavior change going forward. So basically, you're trying to prevent relapse back into earlier stages, or obviously the problem. So, I don't know. I feel like that all kind of goes together, because I feel like if you, like what I was saying, if you take everything away completely, then there's more. It's like binge eating. Like if you take everything away that you want, you're going to have a moment where you just don't care and you're going to break, and then you're going to binge eat. Or whereas if you learn to just have a healthy habit of maintaining that while, you know, putting some of that in while being able to do it in a healthy way, I feel like that helps prevent the relapse. So
one thing I think is big is one of them is helping relationships, and I think finding friends that aren't also playing like a ton of video games, or people that are also trying to stop doing video games, because it's going to be really hard if all their friends, like you go over to your friend's house and they're playing video games, it's going to be really hard to be like, no, I'm trying not to do that very much.
Yeah, I agree. So that's that environmental reevaluation.
Stimulus control.
So that might be something where in the planning and the action process where you're providing new ways. So whether it's like study groups, or it's intramural sports, or, you know, a book club, like something that's different, but you're getting new acquaintances. If your friends are a problem, or getting your friends to realize too, hey, let's all do this together and figure it out, you know.
Yeah. And I kind of thought of like, instead of having it easily accessible, maybe putting the gaming console or whatever it's called away each time. Then that way it takes effort to get it out. And so it's not just like, oh, I come home and it's sitting right here. Let me play for 30 minutes and then it turns into 5 hours.
Yeah.
Whereas if they only have a half hour, oh, I don't have enough time to get it all set up, I'm going to go do something else with their time.
That's a good point. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I feel like that falls under like stimulus control.
Yeah.
Controlling, you know, those cues, and controlling, you know, the way your brain was wired to think.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, so let's see. We were maintenance. So after 6 months, trying to make sure they don't relapse, and then termination is terminating, obviously making sure they have no desire to return to their unhealthy behaviors. And I think in this, like, once you're after that 6 months, where you're trying not to relapse and you're trying to just like completely get, I think it's another good opportunity to go back and reevaluate like why you were doing this in the first place, now that you have kind of overcome it, but also to just revisit and remember, you know, this is why I'm doing this. This is important, and like almost doing like a, what are those called? Like a, what are the boards where you like put all your, like your dream board, a goal board?
Yeah. It's something
You know,
like that. Yeah.
making sure like they have other things that they're trying to aspire towards. So I feel like video games for one is just like, I mean, I like to play video games on occasion, so I get it. But at the same time, like, you're not doing anything that you can move forward with. I mean, it is like you're trying to progress through the game, but if they figure out a way to have a goal in real life setting that they're trying to progress towards, I think that would be just as addicting and of sorts, as well as it being healthier than doing it in video games. So they just have to figure out something. So anyway, so reevaluating, you know, why you're doing it, and making sure you have something that you're working towards in real life as well.
Yeah.
And then and what we were just saying too, I think that would be a good time to reevaluate your friend situation, your social situations, anything like that that's going to be, you know, if it might affect you in the future.
Yeah, that'd be like counter conditioning, like putting healthy behaviors in the place of unhealthy behaviors. For example, like the time that you would usually spend, so you go to the temple, or you do this and that. So you're spending your time on like study groups and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're okay. What else do we have on here? Let's see. I think that's it, actually. So yeah, I think that was a good one. I like when they're easy like that and we can just flow through it. That's nice. Makes me feel like I know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
Okay. Who wants to be group leader next week? And then we'll just count on that for next week then.
Sorry, I kind of messed up this week. As a group leader.
Oh, no, you're fine. So let's see. Me, Downey have done it. Katie, we'll just count you. So do you want to do it next week? Erica?
You want me?
Yeah, Erica, do you want to do it next week?
Yeah, I can do it next week. Yeah. I was
Okay.
gonna volunteer anyway, so.
Okay. Gotcha. So next week, are we going to go back to 5:15? Is that
Yeah,
what-
that's fine. Yeah.
Yep,
Okay,
whatever
I'll
works for
do
you
it
guys.
Sorry, I'm
That'll
Eastern
be good.
time, so it just puts me like right. It's like an awkward time. I'm like between bedtime, bath time, and dinner. It's like
Oh,
super
yeah.
weird. So, anyway, okay, so we'll plan 5:15, and then we'll just look for that link, and I guess
Yeah.
we'll talk to you guys next week.
Okay,
and
thank you
Katie,
guys. We'll see you next week.
do you want to
was
post the
that?
link for the teacher? Are you going to post the new link for the teacher to review or whatever he does with
Yeah.
it?
Do I just take the
Well,
link that you sent me, or?
no, I guess I'll probably have to do it because it links to my YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, or I can send it to you. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you could just
We'll count it as your turn. I'm not like super worried about it. So.
just do it on like, cause I put the original link on the discussion board, and
Oh, I'll
so
just put it
like,
under.
put a comment or something, so
Okay.
he knows that we have a new link,
Yeah.
so he's
Okay.
not confused.
Yeah, I'll just put it under on that one. Perfect.
Perfect.
Hey, all right. See you guys.
Okay, see you
Bye.
next
We'll
week.
see you next week.
Bye.
Thanks.